Hello, and welcome to the Body Pillar Living Longer Health episode. So this is a series on the 4 pillars philosophy, and I wanted to talk to you about living long, right? We all want to extend our life. There's Peter Diamandis, who's really trying to extend life. There's some really great minds over in Silicon Valley who are trying to figure out ways of doing that. But there is a story about a man who supposedly lived to be 200 years old. And this story, I can't tell you why it affected me so much, but every time I think about drinking alcohol, every single time, every time I think about doing anything that might be unhealthy, I think of this man, and I think of this story. So I wanted to share it with you. Li Cheng-yun is a man who's supposedly lived to be 200 years old. He attributed 3 things to his long life, aside his herbalism background. He was an herbologist. He traveled all around like mainland China and even Tibet, and got like Shilajit and all kinds of great supplements that helped prolong life. And so there's obviously some aspect to that could be the reasoning behind it. But he attributed 3 things to his long life, and I think they're fascinating because they make so much sense, and we already know them, and yet we don't do anything about it. Number 1, he took big strides when he walked, which essentially is just making yourself walk a little bit faster, take a little bit more effort to walk, which in turn increases your cardiovascular response, and doing more exercise while you're walking. So taking your normal walk and adding a little bit more pep to your step, allowing you to get more of an exercise out of it. Working on your cardiovascular system, exercise in general is very important. That actually helps your longevity and helps get your lymphatic system moving, which is the trash basically system of your body. Your heart pumps out blood, so your blood system moves automatically with the heartbeat. However, your lymphatic system does not move on its own, so it only moves when you move, meaning when you exercise, when you walk, do cardio, anything like that. When you're doing squats, you're squeezing those lymph nodes and getting the stuff to move around your body. So taking big strides helps with that lymphatic system moving. The second thing he did was ate minimally, meaning he only ate maybe 1 meal a day, and he only ate what he felt like he needed to. He didn't actually overeat like most people do nowadays. We have access to food so easily, we often overeat and eat pretty poor quality things, even in other countries as well, not just the US. So the idea of eating minimally has been scientifically proven to extend life. And so it's fascinating to think about. Now, I'm no biologist, and so there's probably better ways of learning this than how I'm going to explain it, so go read the studies. But essentially, from my understanding, the more you eat, the more often your cells have to replace in order to process what you've eaten, and they can only replace so many times, a few 100,000 times, I think. And in your cells, in the chromosomes at the end, there's these telomeres. The telomeres only have a limited amount of copies they can have. The telomeres are basically you. They are who you are, your data of reproduction. So how your body cells reproduce is based off the data in those telomeres. Since they have a limitation of how many times they can reproduce or copied, then every time you eat, your cells have to reproduce and split and copy themselves. They eventually eat up all those copies, and then those cells have to permanently die. They can no longer copy. And then eventually that's what leads to aging, is what they were saying in the studies. And so the more you eat, the more faster you age. So the last thing that he mentioned attributed to his long life is that he never touched a drop of alcohol. I think most of us have failed at that point when it comes to this. And I've honestly, on multiple occasions, quit alcohol altogether because of this, and I hope that maybe one day I'll be successful with that and not drink alcohol ever again, because alcohol is a poison. There's no health benefits to wine or beer that can negate the actual bad things it does to your body. You are literally drinking poison. I've never blacked out, and I'm glad I never have blacked out, but blacking out, when you look at what it's actually doing to you, is a horrifying thing. You have killed so many brain cells and hurt yourself so much from the poison that you actually lost consciousness for hours on end. That is not okay. And so alcohol is a way of diluting the life experience. But without having those lows, you cannot know the highs either. So all 3 of those things have been clearly proven to accelerate your life if you do them in the positive way. Managing your physique is key to having mobility later in life, so taking those big strides, but also taking care of your nutrition as well is prudent for your overall health. Avoiding temptations like alcohol and mind-altering drugs, like I mentioned earlier, like not diluting your life experience. Yes, it might be interesting to get drunk and have no worries or inhibitions anymore, but you are not facing your problems. You are not progressing in your life and experiencing what your life has to offer. It helps keep your body at a higher level of purity, particularly the lymphatic system there. Now, I have no more to add on this episode. I think if I keep talking and rambling. It won't add anything to it. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, comments down below.